trending topic. I hope everyone's doing well. Thanks for tuning in to Let's Talk About It Media 21, where we talk hot topics, trending topics. Hold on one second and let me get into. I hope everyone's having a great week already. I was going to start with hot topics first, but then I said, oh, I'll just start here. So come on in, like the videos, you guys come in. Give me a second to do my disclaimer. Good morning, good morning. Say good morning when you guys come in. I'd be greatly appreciated. Support the channel by hitting the like button and subscribe button. So thanks for being here, everyone. Good morning, good morning. Thanks for being here. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teaching, scholarships and research. Fair use is use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. All comments are alleged, in our opinion, and for entertainment purposes only. Oh, good morning. It's Anonymous is first again. It's Anonymous is first again. Good morning, good morning, good morning. We're going to start with Trump. Yesterday, I kind of did hot topics first, and then I ended with Trump. I figured I'd do a little different today. But we're going to get to this conversation in regards to everybody's talking about the distractions, what's being said, what's happening, and then kind of pointing the finger at others. And many people don't like it. They say a lot of times with different celebrities, they're able to distract away from other stuff. People are not letting this go, and they should not. And they should not. But we're going to get to what's being talked about. Hold on one second. What's going on? Why isn't that loading? Okay, there we go. All right, so let's get to what's being talked about. We're going to get right into it. Come on in, like the video, you guys. Thanks for being here. Subscribe to the page. Subscribe to the page. And then we'll get to hot topics, trending topics.
Been briefed on the Epstein files, or your name does not appear in the Epstein files. But doesn't the AG have to tell you if your name?
Well, I haven't been overly interested in it. You know, it's a hoax that's been built up way beyond proportion. I can say this: those files were run by the worst scum on earth. They were run by Comey. They were run by Garland. They were run by Biden and all of the people that actually ran the government, including the auto pen. Those files were run for 4 years by those people. If they had anything, I assume they would have released it.
Anonymous.
The whole thing is a hoax.
Hold on. What happened to the?
But think of it. Those files were run by these people. They were run by my enemy. If there was anything in there, they would have used them for the election. Yeah. I don't do drawings. I'm not a drawing person. I don't do drawings. Sometimes people say, would you draw a building? And I'll draw 4 lines and a little roof, for a charity stuff. But I'm not a drawing person. I don't do drawings of women. That I can tell you. They say there's a drawing of a woman, and I don't do drawings of women. And also, Epstein was always a very controversial guy. I was at a very high position, pretty much all my life. In all fairness, I've been doing this for a long time. I had the top show on television. I had the #1 bestsellers. I had everything, right? And I was a very successful business guy. He was a very controversial. Who would do a controversial drawing? Now, with that being said, they say there were many letters done by many people, and many big people, big successful people. I just don't. When you talk about files, I just keep going back, and other people too. Even the enemy says this thing is not correct, because if we had it, we would have used it on the guy. It's a bad issue. They say it's a good issue for Trump. Do you know that my poll numbers are up 4.5 points since this ridiculous Epstein stuff? My poll numbers have gone up 4.5 points because people don't buy it.
Huh.
Pardon for who? Well, I'm allowed to give her a pardon, but nobody's approached me with it. Nobody's asked me about it. It's in the news about that aspect of it, but right now it would be inappropriate to talk about it. So.
Their audio keeps going in and out.
That's such old history, very easy to explain, but I don't want to waste your time by explaining it. But for years, I wouldn't talk to Jeffrey Epstein. I wouldn't talk because he did something that was inappropriate. He hired help. And I said, don't ever do that again. He stole people that worked for me. I said, don't ever do that again. He did it again. And I threw him out of the place, persona non grata. I threw him out, and that was it. I'm glad I did, if you want to know the truth. And by the way, I never went to the island, and Bill Clinton went there supposedly 28 times. I never went to the island, but Larry Summers, I hear, went there. He was the head of Harvard. And many other people that are very big people. Nobody ever talks about them. I never had.
Please like the video, you guys. We got about 98 in the building. Please double tap that screen as you come in. Thank you.
The privilege of going to his island, and I did turn it down, but a lot of people in Palm Beach were invited to his island. In one of my very good moments, I turned it down. I didn't want to go to his island.
Like the video as you guys come in, and thank you. I hope everyone's having a great morning. Please like the video as you guys come in. Thanks for being here, everyone. Hold on one second.
Urging the release of the files. But now that it's become the Epstein files scandal has become a perfect case study in the risks of fanning the flames of conspiracy theories. Trump spent years urging the release of the files. But now that it's become clear that his name reportedly appears in them, that's the last thing he wants, even at the risk of angering his own MAGA base. So now Trump is stuck in a lose-lose situation of his own making. Keep the Epstein files hidden and allow conspiracy theories to thrive, or release the files and risk even more political damage. And he can't really blame anyone but himself. Peter Baker writes in the New York Times, quote, Trump brought much of this on himself by encouraging dark views of the government that he derides as the deep state, views that prove hard to dispel now that the supposed deep state answers to him. Joining us now, MSNBC senior reporter Brandy Zadrozny, who covers the internet and extremism, and Maura Gillespie, former advisor to Speaker John Boehner and former Congressman Adam Kinzinger. She's also the founder of Blue Stack Strategies. Welcome to you both. Thanks for being here at the table tonight. Brandy, how does Trump get out of this mess?
That is a great question, and one that everybody's asking. As a MAGA watcher, I have no idea. I mean, you can work out the various scenarios. He releases all of the Epstein files. I think that weirdly is his best possible bet, because the people that really, really believe in him, the people that are likely to make up the craziest conspiracy theories, are probably most likely to absolve him. So if they get this big corpus of just information and data and names, they're going to go and get out their red string, get out their corkboards, and start circling every name that isn't Donald Trump. If he doesn't do that, because there are real problems with just releasing a bunch of data from a real case with real victims and real, I love how you mentioned that earlier in the segment, with real people who haven't been accused of any actual crime, that's just a problem. And it could have people, the real political problems for people that are actually looking at the facts in the case and are finding things like birthday cards and whatever else within the decades-long friendship that they had. It's a real problem. I don't mean to be so delighted, but as a person that watches conspiracy theories for the last couple of decades,
This is your Super Bowl.
thank you. I'm here to shine. It's just we never really get this moment where people are caught in the web of their own conspiracy theories, and now it's like we don't know what's going to happen.
Brandy, your piece that's currently on MSNBC.com, I read it. It's very compelling because I think it made us start asking questions that we hadn't thought about, sort of positioning this conversation sort of as a Pandora's box in terms of once it's open, there's a lot of stuff that's very newsworthy that's in it, but then at the same time, there's some things that we may not necessarily know how to deal with, potentially diluting how we process the things in there that are really substantive that we should be paying attention to. You're right. Whatever the Epstein files end up being, as a journalist, I want them. But I also know what happens when a big, messy cache of information gets dropped into the middle of a post-fact attention economy. And I'm not excited. I'm nervous. Why are you nervous?
Yeah, I mean, I think back to other big leaks like this and other big drops of information. And again, I watch MAGA a lot. And these people who are the conspiracy creators have made this. I stole this from them. They said, where is our WikiLeaks? Where is our Twitter files? And what did they...
Please hit the like button, everyone. If you're watching from a phone, press 1. If you're watching from a phone, press 1. If you're watching from a tablet, press 2. Either way, you're able to double tap that screen. Can I please get 100 people to double tap that screen, and thank you. Double tap the screen and thank you. Let's get the likes up, you guys. And there's about 120 in the building. If I can get 120 people to please subscribe, next month we're trying to hit 50K. Thank you.
do with WikiLeaks and what do they do with Twitter files? Well, they took, let's say for WikiLeaks, the DNC hack. That had real newsworthy information in it, right? About efforts to stop Bernie Sanders, about who they wanted, who their favorites were. It had real newsworthy stuff. Now, if you ask most of the people that I report on, what they remember from that, it's Pizzagate, it's QAnon. Those were the things that built those conspiracy theories. The Twitter files data dump, that not leak, but that just that publishing of information, what it led to was McCarthy era kind of hearings and Jim Jordan in the Senate looking at researchers, bringing them in front of Congress, shuttering real centers and universities that did disinformation research. I mean, these things have real consequences, and almost always those are the things that last.
Mara, I want to ask you about the Republican base. And they care about this, and they have been fed these conspiracies for a long time. And then there are Republican voters who simply want to know what happened because this has been such a public scandal with all the elements of money, power, politics, sex trafficking, horrible crimes. Is there ever any resolution that can placate the satiation for this, and that the voters want it, and until they get something in the form of total release, will there ever be enough to satisfy them?
I don't know that there will, but there's also a difference between a Trump voter and a Republican voter. Those who had been down this conspiracy rabbit hole, the MAGA,
Let's get the likes up, everyone. There's about 103 people in the building. We got 13 likes. Can you please hit the like button and thank you? Thank you, Anonymous. I know. They come in, they grab the tea. It's free to hit the like, you guys, and it keeps me in the algorithm. Can you please double tap the screen or hit the thumbs up above the video or below the video? It's the thumbs up. Everybody's got to do their part. To hit the like is free, free, free. 14 likes. So let's get the likes up. Thank you. I hate stopping the show. I do. But there's quotas I have to meet. And hitting the like, hit the like. Thumbs up above the video, below the video. YouTube makes it easy. You can double tap the screen. Can I get 100 people to please double tap the screen? And thank you. Thank you. Let's get the likes up, you guys. We got 14 likes. And thank you. Thank you. Support the content. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
not necessarily loyal to the Republican Party. So I do think that for an issue for Republicans at large and especially for members of Congress, they're thinking, okay, are these people even coming out for me in the midterm anyway? And what's my better move here? Do I stand behind Trump no matter what he does or whatever tactic he's on this week, or do I just call for blanket transparency and then shift my focus to what I want to talk about in my town halls, what I want to talk about?
Good morning. Good morning.
So I don't think that. So I think that's one part of it. But I also think that for the MAGA voters. I mean, if you think about it, Trump's got away with a lot worse, right? He has said a lot worse, and they've stood by him. But I think what happened here is that they want the truth. And even if it comes out, they may still feel as though something's being hidden from them because they feel as though he lied. And so this chip in the kind of this crack in the loyalty to Donald Trump, what does that then lead to? I'm curious to see how that plays out. But mostly, I think for Republicans, they're not sure if those voters are going to stay with them or not.
Brandy, I want to ask you about Dan Bongino and something that he posted the other day. Very cryptic post, saying like that he's going to eventually be able to bring people the truth, and kind of signaling that something that he's learned in his tenure.
It's a little dramatic.
It was a little dramatic. But he seems to be, I will say, given the reporting and also his own sort of public commentary, he does seem to be very rattled in his role. Like he's gone from being this guy at a podcast mic who's very.
Is someone saying based on my voice? I just blocked you for the next 30 minutes. Like the video, like the video. Thanks for being here, everyone. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Don't forget to subscribe, you guys. Good morning, good morning. Thanks for being here. Let's continue. We're going to do Trump, and then we'll do hot topics, trending topics. Thanks for being here, everyone. Good morning. There's about 200 people in the building. If I get 200 people to please subscribe and thank you. We're trying to hit 50K next month. Continue to hit the like button, you guys. 200 people should be double tapping the screen. If you're watching from a phone, press 1. If you're watching from a phone, press 1. Let's continue.
Confident in the stuff he was spreading and engaging in on that platform, to getting into this role where he was supposed to help dismantle the deep state, to now he seems a little
thank you.
Genuinely rattled, I guess, and concerned about whatever he's experiencing in his role. What do you think is going on there?
Oh, God. He once called me the dumbest woman in news, so I want to be really clear about my bias here. But
wow.
Listen, podcasting for the MAGA base is the sweetest gig you can get. It is, it's just hot, and he had the sauce, and everybody loved him, and he was promising all this stuff, and it was like great. And now he's in the FBI, and as he described it, he misses his wife. He does not like working all the time, and now he's in this impossible. That was his words.
And you say working in the FBI is harder than yapping in front of a microphone at home?
Well, I guess so. And now he's in this. I mean, poor guy. He is in a such a pickle now because he's in this place where his fans are like, wait a minute, record scratch. Where's the things that you were going to unearth? And he promised all of this, and then he got in, and then the memo came out, and everyone was like, what happened to Dan? And so now his fan base, his loyal fans, all think that he's the deep state now, and he's really in this spot. I that's on the screen right now is, if I just unbiased, it's unhinged. He says he's shaken to the core, and this to me is much more of trust the plan. It's signaling that I'm shaken, I am not the deep state, and I promise something is coming. But as Marjorie Taylor Greene so wisely said recently, you cannot keep shaking red meat in front of the base, and you have to give them a stake at some point. So what is Bongino going to come up with? And they better do it fast.
Well, you were saying, right, that potentially not concerned about alienating the base that Brandy is mentioning here. At the same time, do you feel like there's an open space more for Republicans, especially these House members, some of these senators, to be more vocal and say, no, President Obama shouldn't go to jail? Or the declassified material that was just released by DNI Tulsi Gabbard is not as big of a scandal as that you're claiming, or also on the Jeffrey Epstein front saying, hey, let's work in moderation here, right? Like, let's have the DOJ protect victims, those that are not charged. Is there at some point where Republican lawmakers will have that opening or be able to more confidently say that without fear of losing that base?
Yeah, I think you're going to see that this next year because Trump's the lame duck president, right? And right now, we're not sure what his benefit will be to members of Congress who just stand by him no matter what he says. Again, with this whole Epstein thing, he's gone from saying it's not a big deal to Pam Bondi is wonderful, Clinton and Comey and Obama set me up. Also, it's a hoax and you're all stupid if you follow it. So, I mean, he really ran the gamut. And so for members of Congress, they don't want to fall into that trap of figuring out which tactic they're taking with it. And will he show up at their districts to make sure they get reelected? Will he come and explain, the cuts to Medicaid, and will he come and explain why they needed to get through these short-term pains for long-term gains? I don't know that he will, because again, he's not up for reelection. It doesn't necessarily matter to him, and I do think there are some cracks there, even with the DNIs.
When y'all get a chance, I'm trying to see the people behind them. The girls kind of behind